Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Mystery Case Unraveling. Today, we're diving into how to ramble on without making wild guesses when there's no evidence. So cheering hands hog the Chestnut man's photo, asking if he's seen it. Hulk squints lemon-faced and replies nope. Meanwhile, Mark's solo investigation seems to have made a breakthrough. Mark finds Turing again and mysteriously says he did some research on Christine's case through a friend and found something unbelievable. Turing looks puzzled like, how tangled can this get? Mark asks against to help lift something out of surprise. It's a pig. Like a magician, he hangs it up and pulls out the same knife from Christine's case. He promptly chops off the pig's leg, cleans the knife, places it under the microscope, and confidently says, this pig's bone density is like a 12-year-old's. Isn't it amazing? When the blade slices into the bone, tiny particles can hide in the gaps, and good luck cleaning that up unless you scrub like you're fighting a battle. However, the evidence in Christine's case only shows bloodstains with no bone particles. Now that's intriguing. Turing speculates that maybe the girl wasn't the killer might be mentally unstable, but Mark firmly believes a link between the cases. He wonders how the killer forgot the burial site. The Chestnut man clearly seems like a big clue. Just as they are pondering, a colleague rushes in like a frantic rabbit and says someone sent a message to Laura's phone. When they check it, the children's song about the Chestnut man. Oddly enough, the phone number is local. Turing springs into action and commands, locate that number. They spring into action, rushing to a mall to catch the suspect red-handed. Turing, sporting a confused look, asks, why did you text Laura's phone? And the guy with the puppy dog face goes, I don't even know Laura. Mark opens his bag, and surprise, a mysterious package with Laura's belongings. He boldly questions the guy about how he has Laura's stuff. The man insists, I got this randomly, haven't even opened it. But Mark's not buying it and rips open what? Out falls a chilling item. It's Laura's hand. Mark warns him, think hard, do you know Laura or not? But seeing the family photo, Turing, like seeing a ghost, asks, where's your wife? The man says she's home. Arriving at his house, the room is a mess like a wrestling match happened, and the woman's vanished. Strangely, Turing spots yet another Chestnut man on the table, and Mark quickly calls in police dogs. They search through the nearby woods, and Turing suddenly spots a figure in the distance, shouting for Mark to come over. When they get closer, whoa, the woman has passed away. Her body falls, hands missing. Just a few days. Another shocking murder has occurred, and even the higher-ups are furious, demanding a thorough search of all suspicious spots. Meanwhile, forensic expert Gantz takes the Chestnut man evidence for analysis. After reanalyzing, he shockingly discovers Christina's fingerprints on it. The police quickly convene for a case analysis meeting, and Turing notes, both victims were in that they were attacked at home, killed by a shield tool piercing eyes to brains. Truly horrifying. Gantz adds that the left hands were cut off in both cases, likely from the same chain, so this is downright unacceptable. Turing continues, saying the killer mailed Laura's hand to the second victim's husband in Laura's name. Initially, they suspected Laura's new boyfriend, Hulk, but Hulk had an alibi. He was with his lawyer at the time, and the two victims had zero connection. Shocked. Others ask if there are more clues, and Gantz mentions, both crime scenes had Chestnut men, and they all have Christine's fingerprints on them. Upon hearing this, everyone immediately protests, including a higher-up declaring there's absolutely no connection between these two cases and Christine. After all, he was involved in that case, so if Christine's case had any issues, that would be a huge blow to his ego. Mark, being an outsider, couldn't care less. He insists on reopening Christine's case but gets schooled by the others on site instead. In the end, the boss sternly warns Mark, don't make wild guesses without evidence. But Mark sticks to his guns, believing these cases are connected, so they quietly search for useful leads and find the second victim's husband, Eric. Mark asks directly where the blood found at his house came from. Eric replies that it must be from his daughter Sophia, who broke her nose a few months back. They even took their daughter to the hospital afterwards. Turing asks which hospital, and Mark and Eric did a little assessment test there. They prepped to head to the central hospital to investigate. Here, they discover Laura's autistic son had gone through an assessment. Eric's daughter Sophia was also hospitalized a few months ago due to a fall. Mark asks the doctor if the kids or the parents knew each other. The doctor replies they hadn't crossed paths before. Mark casually asks who brought the kids in back then. The doctor says it's the kids' moms. Turing asks skeptically, all these. Mark jokes, maybe I'm too smart. But Turing isn't impressed. He shows the doctor photos of the two victims, pointing out they've been murdered, demanding serious answers. The doctor honestly replies that he knows Laura best. His son had been here for a long assessment, but then suddenly, they stopped coming. What's the deal with that? The doctor heard from other moms that Laura was reported for poor care. Turing asks who reported it. The doctor says it was anonymous. The doctor still thinks of Laura as a good mom. So, Mark checks the report letters, revealing she's seen as a selfish mother. The report claims her son should be taken by social services. Turing and Mark quickly head to Laura's house, deciding to split up once they arrive. Mark checks for clues in the house while Turing asks the neighbors if they know about Laura's report. Laura's house has pretty much been searched completely, so Mark decides to check the little shed next door. He hears a noise below that seems to suggest a hidden compartment. When Mark opens it, he finds it leads to a hidden basement and slowly crawls inside. In this dimly lit room, Mark quickly turns on his phone camera, seeing items suggesting someone lived here regularly. Could it be Laura's autistic son was here? And there seems to be a camera by the bed. Just as Mark is documenting everything, a shadow suddenly attacks him. He calls out Mark's name, but the figure takes him down, frantically grabs a notebook, and darts out. Turing's looking all over for him. Hughing finally finds him, warning the guy to turn around quickly, and it turns out to be Laura's new boyfriend, Hawk. Hughing interrogates him about what Mark is shouting, but it's like a whisper lost in the wind, while Hawk frantically pulls out his gun, but Hughing's warning stops him in his tracks. If you have a particular fondness for our show, don't forget to click subscribe. Every bit of your support serves as our motivation to continue narrating these extraordinary tales.